What's up guys? So in today's video we're going to have a full walk around of my new car and we're going to go through all the specs of the car and all the features that it has. So before we start the walk around, this is a 2017 718 Cayman S. That's kind of like a mouthful. There's a lot of sevens in there. This is one of the newer models of the Cayman. So this is going to be the 4-cylinder model with the turbo. The older models of the Cayman, there are 6 cylinders. So and this model of the year is the first year Porsche started changing it up, and they went for a 4-cylinder, and they're using the same turbo, I believe, from the 911. For those of you who don't know, all Porsche cars are made to specs. Whoever ordered this car, when he first ordered it, he spec'd this car out for whatever he wanted to spec it out on. So every feature on this car has been spec'd out to that person's liking. Whoever had this car before me did a really good job in spec'ing it out, because he has almost everything on this car, which is one of the reasons why I got it, because when you're looking at these cars and you're wanting to buy one, not all of them have the same features, so you have to really pick and choose, especially if you're going for a used one. You have to really hope that you find like a good one with all the specs and features that you want. And this one definitely has a lot, and that's why I was really fond of it. Okay, first let's start with the color. So this car is in graphite blue metallic, I believe. It's like a blue-gray color. I think this is probably one of the best colors Porsche makes. But during the daytime, this car looks really pretty. It's like the nice blue-gray color. And then at nighttime, when you're driving at night, this car looks really dark. It looks more bluish than normal. And then if the sunlight hits this car just right, it looks like almost like an off-white color. Like it just looks like a white that's like really dark, and it just looks really awesome. So let's start with the exterior of the car first and go over all the exterior features. Whoever had this car before me ordered like a blackout package for this car. So what that does is basically all the exterior trim pieces around the exterior are all in black. So that goes with the wheels, the trim, everything, even the letters in the back of the car are in black. I really like this feature that's on this car, because with this paint color, since it's like a darker paint color, it basically deletes all the chrome bits or anything that would be chrome on this car and just replaces it with black pieces and black accents, which looks really good on a dark car. So I'm a really big fan of that. Alright, so let's talk about the wheels on this car. This car came with, I believe they're called the Porsche Turbo wheels, which is actually one of the most expensive wheels that you can get through building your Porsche or whatever, which is pretty awesome. And since this car had the blackout package, these wheels came in black, which is another plus, because these wheels, like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but these wheels are actually dirty right now from all the brake dust that this car makes. And you can barely tell that they're dirty because they're black, so black hides the dirt really well. And they're 20-inch wheels, which is really nice because it makes like the car look a lot more flush with all the fenders and everything. As you can see here, there's like a bit of wheel gap, but it's a Porsche. Who cares about wheel gap when you have a Porsche, right? So it makes the car look a lot more flush, and since they're 20-inch wheels, they're a lot thicker. You can have a thicker tire on them. The tires on this car in the rear are 265, which is a lot thicker than what I had before, so they grip the road really well. So I'm a big fan on these wheels. I don't even know how many spokes there are. They're like 18, 20 spoke wheels. Like there's a lot of these spokes, especially with the red brake calipers that say Porsche. Everything just looks really nice, black on red. I think they look pretty dope. All right, now let's come to the rear of the car. So one thing I do love is the exhaust. So this car came with the sports exhaust package. And if you guys know me, there was no way I was gonna get a Porsche or whatever without the sports exhaust. It was a make it or break it deal. Like if there's a car just like this, but didn't have the sports exhaust, I would be like, no, I'm not getting it, because I need that loud car. I definitely wanted one with the sports exhaust package. And the reason I'm a big fan of the sports exhaust is because you can like turn it louder if you want, and you can calm it down if you want. So there's a button, you press it and it opens up the valves, or you can close the valves. And the reason I like that feature, that you can turn the valves on and off, is because, you know, when I'm driving on my neighborhood, I don't want it to be quiet, I want it to be loud. So I can press that button and keep it louder in my neighborhood just because. So that's one reason I like it. So here's a couple of sound clips. So another feature that isn't really like any extra features, all the 718s come with this, but I'm a big fan of it, is the rear wing. So this rear wing actually comes up and down depending on how fast you're going. So if you're on the highway, I believe it's around 70 miles an hour, it'll come up on its own and give the car more downforce. And you also have a button in the car that you can press and just raise it on your own. So I'm a big fan of that, because, you know, it's the ultimate flex. You know, you're just driving, someone's behind you, you're like, psh, put the wing up. You let them know. So you let them know you're ready for a race. Put that wing up. You're like, yeah, let's go, boss. The only downside is it's kind of small. It's a little small little wing, but hey, what I do like about it is even when it's raised or lowered, it does look good. I think it fits pretty well. It's like kind of noticeable, but it's not too dramatic. So I'm a big fan of that. When you want a wing, you can get one, and when you don't want a wing, you don't need one. Like, it flows really well and is really slim, but with it, it still looks pretty good. So that's an awesome feature. All right, so next let's go over the storage space and the trunks on this car. And that's right, I said trunks as a plural. So this car has 2 trunks. It has one in the back and one in the front. And I think one of the coolest parts is how you can open it. So if you look around the car, there's actually no like button or anything to open up the trunk. So, you know, it's just like, how am I gonna open this? Like, I have to use my keys, but no. It actually took me like a week to figure this out, and I had to like look up in the manual and actually watch a couple of videos. But you actually don't need a button because this car has like a sensor for when your hand's like close to it, it'll open up on its own. So it's pretty awesome. So yeah, this car has 2 trunks, and it honestly has a lot of storage space, especially in the front trunk. This trunk is pretty deep. Like, I can fit my whole hand in there, and there's still more space in there, so it's pretty deep. You can fit a lot of things, at least maybe like 2 suitcases in here for if you're going to the airport. And then the trunk in the back is a little bit smaller, but you know, it's pretty good for like small things, like maybe going grocery shopping, you just put a couple little bags in the back. So it has a lot of storage space, which is surprising for this type of car. And when you have both of them open, the car looks like a transformer. So, you know me, when I go to car shows, I'm gonna pop both this thing up and be like, dude, I got a transformer. And another cool thing about it is, since this car is mid-engine, so if you go up to someone and they don't really know much about cars, and they're like, yo, pop the hood, you know? You pop the hood in the front, they're like, where's your engine? I'm like, oh, it's in the back. You pop the back and like, dude, there's no engine. You're like, how does this car run? You're like, boy, this car runs on clout. That's enough of the exterior. Let's go to the interior of the car. So first things first, this car has keyless entry. So I know most of you guys already know what keyless entry is. Basically, if you have your keys on you, you don't have to unlock the car manually. You can just go to the door, open it, and the car will unlock itself. And then when you're leaving, you just hold the door handle and it'll lock itself. But I really like the way Porsche did it because, you know, on some modern cars, there's like a little black button you have to press to lock the car or something. But the way Porsche did it, they just have like a little cutout on the handle. They just hold your finger down and it locks the car. And I think it's really cool and discreet and just helps the car flow better without any random little button pieces on the side or something. So I think that's pretty cool. So before we go all the way inside, I'm gonna tell you one of the first things I noticed when I opened this car, and that's all the buttons on the seats. So there's 6 different buttons on these seats to adjust things. I kid you not, it took me a full 5 minutes to adjust my seat when I first got the car. So when you first sit in this car, the first thing you think about is luxury. There's leather all over this car. There's leather on the steering wheel, the door handle, the dashboard. Every part in your vision is usually what you see is leather. There's even leather on the sun visor. Like, why? Why do you need leather on the sun visor? But there's leather there. So the way you turn this car on is different than most other keyless entry cars. Most keyless entry cars, you know, you come in the car and you press the start button and the car turns on. But for Porsche, they did it a little bit differently. What they have is a fake key fob already inserted to where you would put a key fob if you didn't have keyless entry. And all you really do is just turn that key fob and start the car. And it's on the left-hand side of the car instead of the right-hand side. So I'm pretty sure most of you guys have heard the story about how Porsche, you know, it keeps their racing heritage. So back in the day when Porsche was racing, what they used to do is they had the key inserted in the left, so you could put your foot in the clutch, put the car in gear, and start the car all at the same time. It would just make it a little bit faster. So to keep that heritage, Porsche, the key ignition is always on the left, just so you can stay true to that heritage. You just press it and the car turns on, but there's a different feeling when you actually turn the car on yourself. It feels like you're giving the car life. So I think it's pretty cool that it has this feature and it's not just a regular push button like most cars. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's go over the dashboard of this car. At first it might seem intimidating that there's like so many buttons, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like after 30 minutes of driving this car, I figured out what all the buttons did. Climate control and everything, most of that is pretty similar like most cars. You know, you got your climate control, AC, defogger, all that general stuff. And then you get to the seats. So this is one of my favorite parts of the car. So this car has both heat seats and cool seats. So, you know, winter time, it's winter right now, and in the morning I just turn on my heat seats, warms up. When it starts getting warm, I just turn on the cool seats, I'm nice and cool. And then my favorite part is that you can turn them on at the same time. And I know you're thinking, Alex, why would they do that? Like, why would you want to have them both on at the same time? You know why? It's for the flex. This car is the ultimate flex and drip car, dude. You go up to someone, one of my friends has heat and cool seats in his car, but you know what he can't do? He can't turn them on at the same time. If he has his heat seats on and he turns on cool seats, it turns the other one off. And I'm like, bruh, you can't turn them both on? Like, broke? I'm just kidding. But for real, this car is the ultimate flex machine. Like, I would be offended if I couldn't turn them both on. I'd be like, bro, I paid this much money for a car and I can't have my heat seats and cool seats at the same time. Like, that's ridiculous. There's no reason to do it because they'll cancel each other out, but you can do it. So that's why I like this car, because you can do that. Next, let's go over the head unit in this car. I think it's probably one of the better head units I've ever seen in a car before. It's really simple and really easy to use. So, you know, it has your normal radio features, your car features, navigation. Everything you would really need in a car it has. It even has Apple CarPlay. It connects to your phone, and then you have Spotify, your maps, your phone, everything on it. There's like a whole bunch of different features that I can go over. Okay, so next let's talk about the transmission in this car. It pains me to say it, but I didn't get a manual transmission on this car. This car comes with the Porsche PDK transmission. Honestly, when picking and choosing transmissions for a Porsche, I feel like picking manual or the PDK, you can't go wrong with either or. Manual, sometimes I miss it when I'm driving, but hey, this transmission is really good. You can always put it in manual mode and have a fun experience with the car, so it's not a total loss. On the dashboard are all these buttons for the different features. So this car has a button for sport mode. So sport mode on this car, pretty sure the sport mode on this car just changes the whole tune on the car into like a more aggressive tune, and it's just ridiculous how different it is. So sport mode on this car is awesome. You have a button to make the wing go up and down, as I mentioned before, a button for the sports exhaust to make it louder or quieter, and then the button I probably use the most is the button that turns off the auto stop start. So basically when you get to a red light or something, the car turns off. It's probably one of the most annoying features of this car. You know, it's just annoying. Sometimes you get to like a stop sign and the car just turns off at the stop sign. You're only going to be at the stop sign for like maybe 2 seconds. So sometimes it does get annoying. And then you have a button for traction control. So there's a lot of different things. At first I was really intimidated by it, as I mentioned before, but once you get used to it, it's pretty simple. The steering wheel and the gauges and all that. So this car, you know, it has its regular gauges for your RPMs, your speedo, and then it has a third gauge. And this third gauge is a screen that you can change. So you can make it display different things. You can make it display coolant temperature, oil pressure, etc. You can show the map screen, customize it to your own desire. It's standard, you know, windshield wiper, all that other stuff. And it has a heated steering wheel, which is so nice. So this is one of the best features of the car, I'm not gonna lie. And it may seem stupid because it's just a cup holder, but it's so cool when you have like someone in this car who doesn't know about it and they're like, yo, you have no cup holders? And then you just pull one of these. And you're like, dude, check this out. Boom. And then you click one this. Boom. Or right here. Boom. And then you close it. Boom. You got 2 cup holders right there. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw these cup holders, I was like, there's no way this can hold anything. But these cup holders are actually pretty good. They extend out so you can like have them get bigger or smaller and hold the drink a lot better. I am a little sketched out. I'm always like holding the drink hoping it won't fall over. But if you have like bottled water or anything with closed top or anything like that, then you just put it in here and you have no worries. So they're actually pretty good. I thought they'd be a lot more flimsy and stuff, but they hold the drinks pretty well. And you know, I'm just always a little bit sketched out, especially with like a big McDonald's drink or something. I'm always like, all right, I gotta hold it or something. But they're pretty good cup holders, and it's honestly so awesome when you like have someone in the car and they have no idea about it and you just flex on them with that thing, dude. So yeah guys, that's gonna be the walkthrough of my 718 Cayman S. Now, I know I definitely missed some features on this car, but I think I covered a good bit of them, but there's just so many that there's no way I can cover them all in one video, and there's no way I can even remember all the features that this car has. But I think I covered a good bit of them, and I definitely went over some of the specs that this car has that other Porsches you might see on the street don't have. So, you know, I think it's a good overview of the car and good walk around. I've been having a ton of fun with this car these past couple of days, and it's just been a blast to drive. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and yeah, I'm really excited about it. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.